This is Radio Tetris International, a postcard from Poprad.
I think it's a bizarre idea.
Well, it doesn't sound broken.
We've had a bit of a rewiring.
Ian, I've got something to say. I was waiting for my moment.
Lee and I have lots of fun when we do these funny little things that we do.
In all honesty, I don't get
It'd
it.
be like a menage a trois.
I'm actually sitting here in my scanties.
Now see what you've done, Rachel.
I've got to tell you, though, it's pretty hilarious.
Oh, right.
Absolutely not. It's because you mended the studio and you broke everything.
What an idiot.
RTI.
And welcome to Postcard from Poprad on a lovely, lovely, lovely winter's day, nearly. There's snow on top of the mountains. It's not raining. It's just beautiful weather. And, of course, I've got all these to turn on and say hello to you two.
Hello from Poprad to putrid toenails and meat and potato pies.
Right. Right, is that it then?
That's it. Have you killed your ladybird, lady?
No.
Is it dead?
No.
Give it a kiss of life, see?
No.
He's got a ladybird on his thing. He thought it was a ladyboy, actually.
It's not a ladyboy or a lady girl. It's a ladybird.
Okay, let me say hi as well. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hi, 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 hi.
It's
Hi,
a bit
hi,
early.
hi. It's a bit early in the morning for all of that sort of thing. I don't know if Dave's going to be there. He says he's active, but he might not. Oh, he is there.
Oh, hello, Dave.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Where are
Can you
you?
hear me? Well, I'm trying to get a Wi-Fi signal in my hotel, so I'm now sitting in reception.
It's
So I
working well.
apologise about the noise.
No, don't worry
Oh,
about
well,
it.
that's good.
Are you
That's
not coming
the
back,
stuff.
Dave?
No, I think I might stay out here.
I think you should. I'll come and join you.
Yeah, Colin Ward. Do you know Colin Ward did that?
Yeah.
Do you know who Colin Ward is, Dave?
No.
Long hair,
Should
big
I?
glasses.
Yeah, long hair with glasses. Used to be on Radio Caroline. Went out there for a couple of weeks. That was about 15 years ago, and hasn't been back since.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will probably come and find me and want me to come back to the UK. That's the only problem.
Before we start the show, where have you... Oh, this is going to hurt, this is. This is going to really
Oh,
hurt.
dear.
Where have you been this week?
Well, I know where he's been.
Where have I been this week? Hang on, let me sit down. Where have I been this week? Since we last spoke, and I'm desperately trying to remember where I was when we last spoke.
You just finished
Sorry.
NASA.
No, I hadn't done NASA at that point, had I?
No, I think you were going. Yes.
Yeah. So I went to the Kennedy Space Center over in Orlando, spent a day there. That was quite awesome. They've got the space shuttle there. I'm desperately trying to remember.
Endeavour.
One of the space shuttles there.
Endeavour.
That was amazing. And they've
Yeah,
got
all right.
this
Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
Yeah, I've been there as well,
Okay.
Dave. It's,
All right.
it's only him who hasn't.
Oh well.
There's a slight
So,
lack between here and New
yeah,
York, isn't there?
Yes.
Yes.
So did Orlando, did Kennedy Space Center, then I went over to Washington DC and did a couple of days there and sort of looked at things and met up with people, and then I ended up in New York.
Where did you go in Washington?
I went all over everywhere, to be entirely honest. I went and saw the White House, and I went and saw Capitol Hill and all those sort of things. Do you really want me to upset you? I went to the Voice of America.
Don't upset me, Dave, because I've been.
No, you didn't go to the Voice of America.
I didn't go there. No, guys.
No.
Shoot.
You didn't get a VIP tour of the Voice of America, did you?
No, but I didn't. But I've met the Voice of America in Poprad. He hasn't. Yes, I
You've
have.
I've
met the Voice of America. I know there's a lot of Voices of America there, and it's a station. But I met the little bloke with the long hair.
Yeah.
And
he met the same person in Washington.
he's really old, isn't he?
No.
He is.
No.
Well, he looks it.
Not older than you.
You get lost.
He's not older than you.
You get lost.
No.
Well, he's not looked after himself.
So tell me about the Voice of America trip then.
The Voice of America trip was awesome. I met up with a chap by the name of Dan and a chap by the name of Rick. And Rick... gave me the guided tour of the 2 floors. In a weird way, we decided to do it backwards because I managed to get up to the top floor first. But that was Dan's fault because he took me there. So we went around all the radio studios and production studios they've got there and had a look round and introduced me to a couple of people. We had a chat and a bit of a tuning wag, as you do, and then we went down, looked at more studios, some radio, some TV stuff, and their newsroom, and then Dan and I went out for dinner.
You just are having a star-studded thing, aren't you?
He's a very nice man, Dan.
Yeah, Dan's all right, actually. He's a nice guy. Bless his little heart, still at work, even though he should have retired.
That's what I'm saying. He's a lot older than me and you.
No.
He is.
No.
He is. You are, aren't you, Dan?
No, he's the same age as me, which means he's younger than you.
Don't be so rude.
I'm
going home now.
Sorry, we're in Slovakia.
Yeah.
Which means I shouldn't be rude to my elders.
What's Stefan doing here, then?
He's younger, you're the young...
Oh dear, does that mean I have to be nice to both of you?
Yes.
Yes, you have. I'll tell you where I've been, Dave, that I bet he's never been.
Where?
And
Where
it's a similar thing. The strange-looking radio station building in Bratislava.
That's horrible.
The upside-down appearance. You only say it's horrible because you've never been. I've been inside it.
So have I.
You've never been in it.
Yes, I have.
You little liar.
No, it's an upside-down triangular thing.
Yeah, I've just described it as that. You've
It's
just picked that up off me.
It's ridiculous.
It's brilliant building, isn't it? What a gorgeous building.
We used to park right opposite.
Does it not fall
You
over
don't mean you've been in
upside
it.
I suppose that's true. But I
See,
never
caught
mind.
you out again.
Yeah, right. I was going to ask you something then, and I've forgotten.
Me? That's me.
Uh,
Not you, Dave. Me.
uh,
Not you, Stefan. Me.
it's gone now. Anyway, what?
You said you were going to ask me something and you forgot.
I have.
And I just dissed both of them because
Oh, right.
you were asking me.
So when are you coming back then, Dave?
Don't come back, Dave. Come out here, Dave.
I'm not quite sure how to take that, Lee.
No, come out here.
I am leaving today. I'm checking out of my hotel
As we
later
speak?
this morning, and then no, because I've just only woken up because it's only 7 minutes past 7 in New York.
And where are you right
And
now?
I went down to the business
city?
centre, and I can't get the Wi-Fi to work, so I've had to come up through reception. Yes, a little bit later I shall check out. I've got all day because my flight tonight isn't till tonight, so I shall be roaming the streets of New York until this evening, and then I shall get on a plane home, and it's back to Blighty, I'm afraid.
Come here, Dave. Come
Actually,
here.
when you're in New York, you can go to, what's that ship museum in the Hudson River?
Did you say ship?
Yeah, the
Yes.
Ship.
Yes.
Yeah, there is. Actually, that's right, Dave. There's a ship museum in the Hudson River.
There's one
Yeah.
about ships as well.
With, and they used to have
Yes, I know, I'm going there.
Space shuttle as well.
I'm
Okay, great,
planning on
great.
going there today.
You're going there today?
The big
Yeah.
battleship.
Because,
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big battleship's amazing.
Yes, because they've now got the prototype of the space shuttle there, the Enterprise. So I thought I'd go and have a look at that.
You're going to
yeah,
see
yeah.
the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, I usually love
Yes,
to go
and
there.
believe it or not, it was actually named after that.
Yeah, yes, I know.
It's quite
Yes.
And the ship is called Intrepid.
Intrepid, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We better do some hellos.
That's the one.
Hello.
Hello. Hi to Sonia.
Hello.
To Stefan, you're here.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here.
Well, so it's a bit of
Hello to Dorothy.
Who's she? Oh, right. Hello, Dorothy.
Hello, Uncle Steve.
Hello, Dorothy.
Is that Mr. Man?
Mr.
Hello,
Man.
Steve.
Here, Dave, I just thought.
What?
I remember what I was going to say now.
Oh, God,
Dave,
what?
can I teach you some Slovak?
Oh, go on then.
He said he was
Right.
doing it for me.
Can you say dado?
Dado.
Dado.
Yeah, dado.
Dado.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
can
what
say
you
that.
call Lee now.
It's Grandpa.
What does it mean?
Grandad.
Oh dear. Is he a granddad now?
I'm a granddad 3 times over.
So he's really dado.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got 3 grandkids.
So you don't have to call him Lee anymore. You can call him dado.
Yeah.
So I can
You
call
can
him
actually-
Dado.
Can I teach you a bit of Slovakian?
And hang
as well?
on, just to make it balanced,
Yes.
because we're always
Okay.
balanced.
Yeah.
You know your little brother Peter?
You-
My
probably
little
yours.
brother.
Yeah. Is it
He's
Peter?
big brother. Yes.
No,
he's big
no,
brother.
but he's little brother. So what?
If you say
Well,
so.
actually, no, he's older than you, isn't he?
I was going to say he's older than me and taller than me, so he's. I can't really call him little. And
Okay,
he
so
picked me up
you
the
can
airport.
call him Velke.
Call him what?
Velke.
Velcare.
Oh, pizza.
Big monkey.
A big pizza.
No, Velke or pizza.
Big
It
monkey.
means big monkey.
Big
You know,
monkey.
We have there is a.
No, I'm not gonna
if
do
I
that.
can
It's
teach you
gonna be a big
Slovak word, Dave,
What?
and you can use it quite freely here. It has no ulterior motive or saying. You just have to say when you're thinking of Eric, dick.
I'm not saying that. It's probably
You can
very
say thank you to me anytime you like. I don't care.
Dick.
Oh, right.
Eric Dick.
Okay, Dave, what further plans do you have in New York while you are over there till tonight?
He's just told you he's going on that boat.
I'm
Yeah,
going
that-
to the
that's
Endeavour.
one of the
Well,
I'm
plans.
also going.
Hang on.
I'm going. Hang on. Behave.
Yes.
I'm going to the Endeavour, and then hopefully I'm going to pop over to see the Museum of the Moving Image, which they have over here as well, because they've got a
Alright.
big Jim Henson display on apparently.
Wow.
Exhibition.
Yeah, that's right. I saw on the YouTube.
Oh,
You just reminded me of something.
What?
It's black thingy, isn't it?
No, we're
black-
coming to that in a minute.
No, I'm going to buy something that's fascinating, but I've forgotten his name.
No, it doesn't matter. Ian says, afternoon, gents. Afternoon,
Good morning.
Ian.
Afternoon to you
Is
as
that
well.
his location?
No, I don't think so. We got to say hi to Badul.
Badul.
That's a nice name.
Hi.
Doodle.
Badul.
With the doodle on it.
And
Is he
Anyai.
crossed with the poodle?
Anyai and Raymat. And who else have we got up here? We've got Vincent. Hi, Vincent. Vincent's always here, actually. He's very good.
We like you, Vincent.
Always here.
Vincent is a robot, I guess.
Mike and Dom are in the house, as is Jane Hall. Hello, Jane.
Hello, Jay.
Hello, Jane.
Jane. And Jeff Posley's here as well.
Hi,
Jeff
everybody.
who?
Jeff Posley.
Who's he?
I don't know. Ask him.
Who are you, Jeff?
He's a listener.
Posley.
He's a listener.
Can I just tell Dave somewhere else to go in New York? It's brilliant. I spent hours there. It was absolutely fabulous. Go
I'm
to the
running out of time here.
go to the Scientology place. It's right next to the What's It Hotel, and it's brilliant. They give you cups of tea, they give you biscuits and everything, and it's just really good. You just have to sit there and listen to them.
When you say it's by the What's It Hotel, that's not really very helpful.
That's what it's called,
There
the
are
What's It
quite a few
Hotel.
here.
See, you know nothing about New York.
Is he really called the What's It Hotel?
Is he?
Nah,
You big
numpty.
You big yes.
Yeah, numpty. Anyway, let's get on with it. Hang about Dave as well. Come to you in a moment. I'm actually quite surprised he hasn't dropped me in it so far, so I'll carry on. Hopefully he won't.
Oh, well, I'll do it now if you want.
What?
What are you talking about?
I'm not telling you because then
Is
you
it something rustling in the background?
could be.
Yes, may I introduce the new book critic for the Consumer Watch Foundation, Eric Norman Wiltshire, book critic of this parish.
Oh dear. Oh well.
Reviewer?
Yep. I did. I read a book.
He did. He read a book and reviewed it.
It's your fault.
I just didn't want sloppy seconds.
Excuse me. My street cred is down the toilet.
It's always been down there. You've just followed it.
Anyway, I'm sure Dave will be reading this when he gets home. It's
Very good.
It's actually called the Radio Caroline Bible, which I don't agree with the title. Because
No, you don't, and you made a very good point.
I actually think it should be called the Radio Bible. This is a new publication from Paul Rustling, and it starts in the 1930s, does an overview of radio for years and years and years. Then it starts to go into the tricky subject of Radio Caroline, because everybody's got a different view of what Radio Caroline has and hasn't done over the years. And Dave, this is for you. He's also talking about all sorts of other offshore stations.
Oh, there isn't one that begins with L, is there, by any chance?
Yes, he actually mentions the word laser 558. He also talks about...
Not 738, then.
No. He also talks about the Marine Offences Act. That was the bill brought in by Mr. Wilson and his Labour government, which tried to kill off free speech radio forever. He failed miserably, as they all do. And even then goes on to talk about the Ross Revenge on the Goodwin Sands. And honestly, it's a riveting book.
I've not read it, but your review...
It's riveting.
Yeah, your review is very, very interesting, and he's just read that out of his review, actually.
Yeah, it just... I don't know what it is. It's very hard for me to want to sit down and read a book.
Yeah.
Because most books just bore me.
It's because you're a practical man.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this book, actually... I mean, there's certain points of the book where I went, gosh, I'd forgotten that. And then everything came back to me as if I was a teenager again. It was really quite clever how it worked.
If you look at the Consumer Watch Foundation, the artwork with the book review by Eric Norman Wiltshire is of Kenny Everett, who makes a good appearance, and I denied that he did make an appearance, and I apologise. But it is that picture I used because it captured the whole essence of what I felt your review reflected in Paul Rusling's
absolutely.
book.
There's more about it if you want to get hold of a copy. RadioCarolineBible.com. Yes, Steve, there's an e-book available, which you can order from there as well. And Lee, behave yourself.
I'll not say anything.
Good, because Andrea's here.
Oh, heck. We're not we're friends.
Are you friends at the minute?
Yeah, we're friends.
Heck.
Yeah.
Flippy
I had to make my own breakfast.
How was your sandwich?
It was all right when I got it. Actually, it was very, very nice.
This is last week,
yeah.
dear
It was gorgeous. It really was one of the nicest sandwiches. This is a homage to my ex-wife, who says everything is gorgeous, and that sandwich was gorgeous.
You got your wife online, and you're talking about your ex-wife
Because it makes a laugh when I do gorgeous.
Oh, does it? Oh, right, that's okay. Anyway, we move on. The most magnificent bloke that Dave will have seen, that is for sure. Gary Rhodes has died in hospital from bleed on the brain after collapsing in his home.
He had a fall, apparently. It was a fall that killed him.
Well, that was one bit.
What came first? We're not sure.
Well, the family have said it was a bleed on the brain after collapsing at home, so I guess he fell over, because otherwise you wouldn't have collapsed, would you?
Yeah.
And he just finished filming for ITV, and my biggest memory, I guess, Dave, is like yours, of Gary Rhodes driving around Orpington in his camper van.
I used to see him on the train.
Yeah.
He used to catch the train from central London out to...
Yeah, he was just a
Orpington.
regular guy.
He used to catch the train with all of us, like...
Yeah.
He's just a normal bloke.
My abiding memory of him was when he actually cooked for me.
Oh,
yes, we went on a press homage.
So he didn't cook for you, really?
He did, of course he did.
He cooked for lots of people.
Well, there was 12 of us there.
Easy.
He cooked for a little table of 12.
Right.
And it was lovely. It was very nice. So very, very sad to hear. At 59 years old, he said he'd done everything that he wanted to do in a way, but he hadn't.
No, I don't think so.
He's got lots of plans. It's just
yeah.
Very sad.
But he was,
this week.
as Dave was intimating, he was just a regular guy. That was the good thing about him.
Yeah.
Keith says, "Hi all."
Hello, Keith. Who's that, Keith?
That's Keith Lewis.
Hello, Keith.
Keith Lewis. Hello, Keith.
Yeah, Keith. Don't get angry. He's in New York at the moment. The boy. The boy blunders in New York.
Yeah.
And we hate him now because he's been to NASA and things. Anyway, the most amazing broadcaster, one of the few to come from Australia and really make it happen in the UK, Clive James. He's died at the age of 80, and that was just a month after he actually retired. Which is rather sad. But he has been poorly for a long time. Yeah.
I met him, and he was very charming, very funny, and actually cared about being interviewed. And he was really just really into it. And instead of being evasive, he was full on and told you everything that you wanted to know. He was a good egg. Liked him a lot.
He was very complimentary about the wonderful hospital Addenbrooke's in Cambridgeshire, and for all the wonderful work that they did. And he will be missed. There's no two ways about it. The British film director, or theatre director, and presenter Sir Jonathan Miller has died at 85. When they say presenter, what do they mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Where did he present?
He presented he was multiculturally active. He was an actor, he was a writer, he was a poet, he created dramas.
We're presenters. Where did he present?
He presented on the BBC, he presented on everywhere. He was part of the team that made Beyond the Fringe. He just was into everything and was capable of doing everything. And he, again, sad, got to 85, not that far away now for you. And it's...
You'll get there first. You'll get there first. One of the things that I've noticed over the past few months is we've been very bad. We've been really bad.
Naughty?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, we've been incredibly naughty because we feature the UK because two of us are English. We do a lot about Australia because Rach, she's Australian.
Who's not here, if you've noticed.
Well, no, she's a bit poorly this week, so she couldn't make it this week. And did send her apologies.
She did. Get better soon, Rach.
Absolutely.
Get better soon, Rach.
Yes, absolutely. And we've always missed out Slovakia.
Well, I have to say, very quickly, I take that as a bit of an insult because the Consumer Watch Foundation does focus quite heavily on Slovakia, and I actually do a show on a Sunday night with this man here very often,
yes,
called Slovak Voices.
You nearly got that wrong, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It's called Slovak Voices. And so I am very well aware that we should be focusing more on Slovakia, and I think this is very good move.
Absolutely. So anyway,
I accept that. I'm very angry about the first one.
Well, this is true. The Slovaks, the Parliament in Slovakia, it's your fault, I've called it from you, have approved an amendment to the existing ban on the publication of opinion polls from 14 days to 50 days before the election.
Disgusting.
And that is, yes, it's disgusting, but it's also silly.
It's very silly, very disgusting, and it's such a retrograde step, and it's part of what's happening across the world. I will expound on this when you wish me to.
No, the point I'm going to make, which is completely alien to yours, I'm sure.
You don't know yet?
I think I do. But the fact is, they are being very silly.
Silly.
Now, the president, Susanna, she said, don't extend the ban.
She's not silly.
No, she's not silly. And I can understand why some of the old people want to extend the ban, because that's their mindset. Now, let's just assume for a moment that a group of people, a research group from the Czech Republic, which is right next door, drive into Bratislava, they do the research, they put it up on the interweb, we then talk about it as well, because we're allowed to, because we're broadcasting from the UK, not Slovakia. And everybody else around is going to see the research that old people don't get to see here, because they're going to be on the interweb.
Yeah.
So the whole point of your argument about extending this ban to 50 days is completely and utterly puerile.
But it has a far more deleterious effect.
No, it's the old people thinking it.
No,
it is.
No, well, it is. I agree with you. It's old-fashioned thinking, but it's a retrograde step, and
for a minimum amount of people,
and it's deleterious to what we celebrated 2 weeks ago, which is 1989. It's the complete antithesis of what Slovakia and the Czech Republic stood up for, which is freedom of speech.
But that's the same with everything. You go back to the 1960s. I was one of the rebels that stood up for offshore free radio for young people. Now you get the people who were then teenagers going, oh, this music of today is horrible. It's disgusting load of old rubbish, noisy junk. You know, it's all stupid people, like not doing anything. And that's exactly what our parents and peers said about our music. So old people are just old.
Yeah, but it isn't only about old people. What's happened in this world 10 years ago? 15 years ago, we had a world blanket of freedom of opinion, of expression, and everything else. It went through certain channels, which were fewer on the ground than they are now. But since social media has come onto into the marketplace, we now have the governments of this world. I include the British government in this, the American government in this particularly, who are trying to crack down and
bury everything
and mute the media.
Yeah.
But then what they're happy to replace it with is social media, which is full of
no controls at all.
Yeah, no controls at all, full of lies, full of wrong facts. And then we have governments like this also in Britain who are trying to put out the only thing that will be believed is their own propaganda.
True.
We are going back to the 50s and the 60s.
I'll stand by what I said. Yes, it's a retrograde step, but yes, it's puerile because...
That's young people.
The young people, who are probably the majority of voters these days, because when you think about it, the old people die. They do, they die. The young people keep voting, and already we've seen that vote happen in Slovakia. And I always remember somebody from the British government saying to me, "You're going to be great now." I said, "Why is that then?" He said, "You're going to have such a great time." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, don't you know what's happening with this new law?" I said, "Yeah, I do. I get the new law about Slovakia, 27% of Slovak music, blah, 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 blah." And he said, "Eric, you're going to have a field day because all the young people will come to you because they can listen to you on their apps. They don't care. They don't want all this type of music messing up what they want to hear. They want to hear this radio station from London that they were used to, but they'll take yours instead as long as you've got the right music." And I said, "I've already got the right music. What are you talking about?" And these numbers are now so big that it's actually impacting on the radio industry in Slovakia.
Yeah, I agree. But
It is.
The wider thing is that we need, across Europe and across America and across the world generally, to be very afraid of what the authorities are doing. They're allowing us false media through Facebook and all sorts of social media.
But that's the thing that's actually stopping them.
No, it isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't. Look at the absolute rubbish that's on Facebook and other media.
But not all of it's rubbish.
It isn't all rubbish. No.
But you
the
don't
bulk
know
of it
how
is.
to find out which is right and which is wrong.
Yeah, because nobody bothers. Somebody says Corbyn's a gay-bashing, cauliflower-eating weirdo, and everybody who doesn't like Corbyn says, yes, he is. Nobody checks to see if he is. The last thing is he's gay, cauliflower-eating, whatever else I said.
Yeah, he's not just not. How do you feel about this?
Yeah.
About the law?
Yeah.
I think it is stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely stupid.
Yeah, and by the way, boys and girls, we're not out on an outside broadcast. The noise you can hear in the background is Dave sitting, I hate him again, in a reception of a large hotel in New York City, America.
Well, what's it?
I'm preparing to go visit the Intrepid Museum in New York.
But seriously, Stefan, you are the man to talk about this, and we know from Slovak Voices on RTI FM on a Sunday evening at 11 o'clock over here that you're quite articulate. Do you believe that now, 30 years after 1989, you have more freedom, or in the last 10 years, have you seen it be taken away from you?
I definitely feel more freedom still than it was in 89 and before.
But do you feel you have more freedom than you did in, say, 1990 or the year 2000, the millennium? Do you have more freedom now than when the century turned?
I think the world right now over here is controlled a lot. It wasn't, there wasn't that much control laws about everything like it is right now. So definitely.
I rest my case.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that those that are trying to make this control system have forgotten that communications have superseded the way they think. And they think an election is based on newspapers, and in the modern world, it isn't.
Yeah.
In the modern,
It will kick them in the butt.
it's about all the different platforms.
Of course it is.
Satellite television. One channel goes the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Deutsche Welle, they can broadcast a poll about Slovakia, and there's nothing anybody here can do.
No.
And that's a fact. I mean, even China have woken up to it, which we'll come on to later, hopefully. A global power in the production of malt, that's Slovakia, which exports 82% of its output, making it, get this, a tiny little country like Slovakia is the 6th biggest exporter in Europe and 12th in the world of malt to make beer.
What did he just do then?
I think he coughed.
What was that, David?
I don't know why his signal's breaking up. I missed half of our
That's what I
conversation.
say.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Jana Shepherd is the lady in charge of all
Hello,
this
Jana.
stuff. Hi, Jana.
Hello.
She's really, really sort of powerfully putting this case forward of Slovakia being a global leader in the product.
In malt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and why is it not a big thing? I haven't seen this on the TV news.
Do we do malt whiskey over here?
Yeah, we do. There's a malt whiskey.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, there is.
Well, there you again. That's what I'm saying about Slovakia. There's 3 drinking men here who actually do not know.
Oh, I don't drink.
No, I don't either. It's
No, it's
Stefan
just
who
Stefan.
drinks, Yeah. But and we don't actually know if there is a malt whiskey created in Slovakia. That's not our fault. That is the fault of this company and this industry and this country for not telling the world about what they create.
True. Steve, what are you talking about signal for?
Signal.
Signal. He's gone signal. And I have no idea.
I'll give you a signal.
Yeah. Anyway,
terrible.
another thing that, you know, I think should warrant a bigger splash than it actually is. It's 90 years of Slovak ice hockey officially. Now, I know for a fact that prior to this 90-year anniversary, there was ice hockey played by Poprad, and it was played up in the Tatras Mountains on the lake only in the winter. And that's from the 1920s.
I thought they played it in Poprad on that lake here.
No.
Really?
No.
Sorry,
Am
okay.
I right with
Stand
my
there,
history?
stand.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
Is that up Smoky Star thing? Oh. Is it? That lake?
Start what?
Smoky Star. I can't say the last word because it comes out wrong.
You mean Štrbská pleso?
I think he does.
Oh, that's not Smoky Star, I think.
No, it's nothing like that because it's not where you think it was.
Right.
The signal is breaking up. I thought you said Mole. The signal's not breaking up.
No.
It's your
My
end.
signal might be breaking up.
Yes.
Yeah. We heard it. We heard his signal breaking up.
Yeah. Anyway, the Slovak Olympic and Sports Committee, also the Sports Museum crew, and the Slovak Ice Hockey Association are actually inviting everybody to come to an exhibition in the Poprad Museum, which is commemorating 90 years of ice hockey being professionally played and organised in Slovakia. So I suppose the Poprad Club before that doesn't count because it wasn't professional and it wasn't technically organised.
When did it go professional?
90 years ago. That's
Yeah, I
what Eric
think
just said.
so.
I'm asking about the Poprad one, Mr. Noisy.
Oh,
The same.
Oh, right. That's perfectly simple answer. You don't have to ridicule Grandad.
Dado Lee. I love that.
Eric.
That's going to stick. Apparently, there's lots of documentary histories across the years, and I hope that it's not just bits of paper, that they actually do some videos. Otherwise, it's all very pointless.
Yeah, and send us pictures and we'll publish them.
Yeah, there you go. Whilst the UK is flapping about with its how much plastic it's being used in a political game of ping pong, Slovakia has actually banned single-use plastics as of 2021. And it's a small country. It's doing its bit, and what I find, and you must see that even now as a Brit recently here. The Slovaks do recycle a lot. What?
We have a survey being published at the Consumer Watch Foundation. I'm sorry to keep mentioning it, but it's where everything's happening there. It's a happening place. We have a survey which we will be publishing next week about recycling in Slovakia, and it's been done by students from somewhere that I can't remember. But they are doing a survey on it, and we are publishing it, and Slovakia is making brilliant moves in that direction.
Absolutely. They do. I mean, I get told...
Recycle.
Yes, of course I do. I have to.
Like,
Why do you have to?
because it gets in trouble.
Do you get shouted at?
Yeah, right now we will get shouted at. There is no any penalties.
No.
But I like my environment. So that's why I have to.
Yeah, but Slovaks, unlike Brits, they turn the lights off when they're not needed.
Yes.
They switch things off
And put
Yes.
things in dustbins.
in the separate dustbins.
Yeah, in the separate dustbins.
You know, we've got bin for this, bin for that. Where'd you bin? Oh, I've been there.
We recycle in the UK. We want to put stuff in separate bins.
We do, but on penalty of death if we don't. But what happens, Dave, is I'm sure you know, we actually, at the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com, followed a bin lorry, and it took all the recycled stuff and chucked it in one tip.
Yeah, I know, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I think they have to be a little bit more responsive on what they do these days.
Yeah,
and tell
it's-
everybody what's
This was
happening.
only 18 months ago.
I know.
Council,
Yeah,
the
it was.
council near me has recently changed, and they've listed out where everything goes and how much they recycle. and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Don't mean
It's
they're
very,
doing it.
No, I know.
in depth.
Anyway, at the same time, plastic waste in the UK rises by 1.5 billion bags for life sold, researchers found out. Greenpeace has been going on about it, as they always will do.
900,000 tons of
Tons.
plastic we bought in Britain
It's
to
ridiculous.
save the world. What a stupid.
Yes, absolutely. Ship.
Do you know what's really mad here
What?
in the
What?
States? It varies depending on where you are, but if you go to a fast food place and ask for a drink,
Yeah.
you have to ask separately for a straw because they're not allowed to give you a straw. But the joke of it is, if you've ordered a large drink, which basically comes in a bucket, it comes in a plastic cup.
Oh,
So they're quite happy to give you a plastic cup with a plastic lid, but they don't want to give you a plastic straw.
right. There's a
Go
logic
figure.
there somewhere, isn't there?
America's round the bend. It always has been.
Yeah.
It always
The end of the world happened yesterday. The
Did
end
it?
of the world,
I
it
missed it.
did. Did you not? Did you miss it?
Yeah, I missed the
It was
end of the
out.
world.
It was cold yesterday.
Well, Facebook was unreachable for 2.5 hours.
Gosh, what did we do?
Good grief.
Well,
What
I
did
don't
the
know.
youth of the world do?
I don't know, but one Debbie said, "I still can't post, and I'm in South Carolina. Yet I'm seeing all my local friends' posts."
I know. Well,
Aw.
even the glorious Andrea had a problem, didn't she?
Yeah.
Her things completely disappeared. All of her things.
Well, anyway, it was what they call a feedback cycle, which was the problem. Facebook actually owned up to it.
Well, how did they do that? Because they don't talk to anybody. Do you know, we
They
discovered...
talked to me.
Yeah, well, they talk to me in a way. I'm talking generally. They don't talk to the public. You know, we found 5 numbers yesterday for Facebook, right, and each one didn't work.
No, that's because other people put them on the interweb.
Doesn't matter. It means that Facebook
Other
are not giving out a
people-
phone number for themselves. Or other
But they,
people
they
are
are.
doing it.
They actually are. But that's another story. Anyway, the quote from them was,
Not easily findable.
We apologise again for the site outage, and we want you to know that we take the performance and reliability of Facebook very seriously.
No, you don't. You're just lying.
Anyway, I'm enjoying my iPod.
I procreated.
Get it? iPod in Facebook's
get it,
usual service,
What's that? Why is that funny?
which is nil at the moment. Well,
I'm
what's an
still
iPod?
Yeah,
iPod.
A music player.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's not a tablet, is it?
yeah.
He's poking fun. Does an iPod have a browser on it?
No.
No. So you can't get to Facebook with an iPod. He was being sarcastic.
That's really funny.
Actually,
Well, you can on some of the dodgy ones, yes.
there are the touch iPods, the last generation.
Yeah, well, you can kind of get there. Yeah, it's hard work. Anyway, Gail said, "It's the apocalypse."
It is. It is the day the earth stood still.
Yes. Maybe we'll have to enjoy old-fashioned communications.
Procreation.
With family and friends.
With family.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
Paula says, "Thank you so much for letting us know. We totally get it. Give yourselves a break and good luck with your corrections. We're all thankful that you are even available in the first place to connect with our family and friends. Happy Thanksgiving." It'll pass.
What's a load of rubbish?
No, she's nice.
It's a load of rubbish.
And Frank finishes it all off by saying, "You'll survive without Facebook.
Course
It's
you
not
will.
that serious. Maybe you can spend some time with your family instead of always looking at your phone. What has this society come to where you feel your life is doomed
I
without
tell
social
you,
media?"
I have a phone number direct to one of the press officers at Facebook.
Yep.
And that wasn't working because they didn't want to talk to any because they're all embarrassed and upset.
No.
Facebook is
Hang
shameful.
on. Is this your phone number for Facebook? It wasn't in America, was it?
No, it's in London. It's actually at the London office.
Oh,
I'm a grown-up journalist.
because yesterday was Thanksgiving and there was quite a
No,
lot.
but-
Oh,
nobody
right.
would
Oh,
have-
very clever.
Yeah, it's only because he's there he recognised it. Anyway, the Tories are going to complain to Ofcom
Ridiculous.
because they had a debate which was supposed to be around the environment, and a couple of them didn't bother to go, so they put melting ice sculptures instead.
Well done the BBC.
That was Channel 4.
Well done, Channel 4. And what
just-
idiots to complain to Ofcom.
It was a naff debate anyway.
Yeah, but it was that was a funny move on their side. Yeah, we're talking about that. These two, not so. Let's put an effigy in. These effigies are used all the way through lampoonery. Yeah.
Keith's got a comment about the future. All our car industry, well, what's left of it, will end up in Slovakia by the end of the decade. I don't think it will.
Why do you not think it will?
Because there's a lot of speculation about the UK car industry because of Jaguar Land Rover. Now, before all the Brexits and all the rest of it, actually, originally, Jaguar Land Rover were going to go to Poland, but there was a huge thing that was done here. Lots of... Dave!
Dave, will you behave?
Yes, go to the toilet if you need to. Dave!
You all right? Oh.
Dave!
Oh.
I think we've lost him.
Well, he's probably flown out of the window doing
Hang
that.
on. It's a poor connection. We're reconnecting, they say. Anyway, I don't agree, Keith, because there was a lot of sort of ons and ups and downs about the whole thing. And some of the factory decisions were already made before anything to do with Brexit. And so, but it all got jumbled up in the mix of Brexit. And more recently, you've got other companies talking about providing the battery technology for the new e-cars, which is going to the UK. So you can either keep the... It's a bit like the printing press, really, isn't it? It's all over again. Although we've lost Dave this time.
Dave, you've gone. I bet he's farted himself out the window.
Oh, you said the F word.
Did I?
Yeah.
Naughty Stefan.
Naughty Stefan, get out of it. Hang on. Did the Labour guy complain when he was replaced by a tub of lard all those years ago? Hattersley, was it?
Yeah,
Was it Hattersley?
Yeah, it was.
Roy
Yeah, it
Hattersley.
was funny, yeah.
Oh, it was just really funny. No, I think Boris has overreacted to it. The bottom line is the whole thing was a load of old boring stuff anyway.
Yeah.
And it's got about as much impact on the election as me.
Exactly.
Which is not a lot. Now, the next one, we weren't going to do the election, but we
But
got
this is important.
Remind me, when is election?
12th of December.
Elections when you vote.
12. So it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I know. And we're
Can I
on
do
the
two
air.
hats on him?
So we're on air the day after the votes.
Okay.
And because of the way the voting system works in the UK, the actual final announcements are round about noon the day after.
Whoa, so it will be in the time we have our show.
Yes.
Great.
So, the first time in my broadcast history, I can actually work on the final results.
Nice.
And you see, the thing is, as he does know, I've done it.
No, you haven't done it on the radio.
I did.
Of course you did it in Manchester,
I did it for
didn't
the
you?
BBC. Yes.
Yes, I remember now. The Labour documents which show the NHS will be up for selling in a post-Brexit US trade deal under Boris Johnson, which Jeremy Corbyn claimed, have been shown to be not as factual as he claims.
Silly Jeremy.
And there's a simple reason for it. It was up until the 18th of June, I think it was, when all this stuff was taking place. The person that was dealing with it resigned.
Yeah.
We have a new Prime Minister.
But it's not even that important. What
No.
it was a discussion document when we were talking with America to go for a trade deal because all these strange people voted for us to leave Europe. Then the part of us, well, why don't we take over the NHS? We could supply all your drugs cheaper. We could give you all this equipment, everything like that. And basically Britain said no. Now, what Jeremy stupid Corbyn's done is got hold of these documents and pretended it's a grand reveal. It isn't a grand reveal. It was
There's
just a bit of a negotiation.
There's absolutely nothing there.
No.
Not a
silly
darn thing.
So,
Have you noticed how quiet he is now? Dave's gone.
oh, where have you gone, Dave?
He was there 3 minutes ago, then we've lost him. No connection in
Have
the
you
US.
noticed how Steve Mann's very quiet as well?
No, he's talking.
What's he saying?
Paul, because Paul Rustling's joined us. Good afternoon, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Paul, can't find the link to order your book on somewhat on the website because it's not working too well. I think I have the current connection.
Go to the Consumer Watch Foundation, Steve. The connection's there and it works beautifully. On your critique.
Okay.
On your book review by Eric Norman Wiltshire.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What?
Is that my twin brother? Bereaved families of the Hillsborough victims have expressed their anger over the police officer in charge of the day being cleared of gross negligent manslaughter. This is horrible. It's both horrible for the victims. I don't think the victims have ever had closure. And do you know what? I don't think they ever will.
I don't think they will. And when an inquest has said there are questions to be answered and pointed the fingers at into certain areas, etc., then it is strange that this is the situation we've ended up in. And there should be some kind of media expose on this, and I'm sure there will be.
I'm not trying to belittle it.
What?
But it's very similar to the Radio Caroline Bible. It's lots of stories that are now being gathered that maybe weren't written at the time. They weren't actually written down so people could remember them.
Well, that
and over 30 years past, could you honestly tell me what you were doing 30 years ago in depth?
It
No.
makes no difference to the court of law. There were facts. The simple fact is that a myth was perpetrated by the police that it was the fans that actually caused all the tragedies, right? And then the press, the media, were pilloried for carrying that story. It then became clear less than a year ago, or just over a year ago, that in fact the police had a culpability in what had happened.
Indeed.
And now a court said, no, he don't. He did his job perfectly well. Well, I think questions should be asked.
I agree. Thanksgiving travellers were delayed by US storms. Dave?
Have you been delayed?
I haven't been delayed. It was very, very windy yesterday. And very
We've
cold.
heard you.
Yeah, we heard you before you left.
Yeah.
The
In
wonderful
German,
technology.
travel is Ausfahrt.
A minute.
Hello.
My gasp is flattered.
What's going on?
There's a change.
That cheeky Paul.
What's he said?
Hi, Keith. He said, "Hi, Keith and Steve. What about me?
Yeah, what about me?
Etc."
And me.
And him.
Hi, thanks to Lee for the review. Or did Eric write it really?
No, he wrote it. I subbed it. and I made it the brilliant prose that he now will represent himself forevermore as a book critic. It was really good, actually. I didn't have to do much work on it.
I'll read.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul's absolutely right. He's just referring to the fact that a lot of the anecdotal stories are what produces the books, in the same way as we were talking about Hillsborough.
Yeah.
And I really feel so sad for the victims, the families, because I just, after this long period of time, I do not see any form of closure for them.
Well, I don't, but you've got to remember, it isn't all anecdotal evidence. The evidence is there because the police had to keep notes, the hospitals had to keep notes, the ambulance people had to keep notes, the solicitors did, everybody. There is so much, the government did, there is so much real evidence, not anecdotal evidence, that this case needs to keep going, and the closure for a lot of these people is still a million miles away, and that's a tragedy.
True. Compliments to Bob Eager, who's the Disney chairman. He's pledged to help this guy who's dying in a hospice in Hampshire in the UK. An absolute Star Wars fan, anorak, call him what you will, who's living in the Rowan's hospice. He's reacted to their Twitter question, and he's actually going to take the film so that this guy will see it before his death, ahead of everybody else on the planet.
That's so nice. Actually, there's a movie about it.
What about this bloke seeing the film?
Not about this bloke, but the exactly same thing was filmed as the young guy, was diagnosed cancer.
Yeah.
And they went all the way to the Skywalker Ranch.
That's right. Yes,
and,
you're right.
George Lucas showed them.
Yeah, it was George Lucas that did that one. He took him round there.
But it's a movie.
Yeah.
Fan movie. So right now they are doing it in reality.
Yeah.
Nice thing.
Quite agree with you, Steve. Both Mitchell and myself, both knew people who were there. Thankfully they survived. That's Hillsborough. And I'm grateful to everybody that survived. It's just one of those really bad things. Anyway, my top tip of the day is how to bag a real Black Friday bargain.
David?
Don't go out.
Correct.
What?
Keep your money in your pocket and save it for a real offer.
No, I'm going Black Friday shopping.
Because most of the Black Friday bargains these days are actually discounted at a different time of the year.
Yeah.
You find it all the time. And the trouble is, what it's become is a sales period. So
Why is it called Black Friday?
Because it's to do with the stock market crash.
Ah, that makes sense. I understand that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't run around and spend oodles of money. If there's something you really want, if it's cheap, get it. Yeah. But for the rest of it, don't worry too much because it's going to come round again anyway.
Yeah, and it's just bringing Christmas for
a couple of weeks earlier.
Right.
Very pleased to see that the model railway maker Hornby is on its road to recovery. The sale, which is good, thank you, Dave. The losses are down, the sales are up. It's all due to them selling lots and lots more online. They hope to have a really good Christmas. So
online.
Well done. I'm rushing on because we've only got 8 minutes left. 7. No, 6. A quarter of children.
5.
A quarter of children. 3. A quarter of children and young people are problematic smartphone users. In other words, it means they're on the screen for far too long, and you know what? It's the fault of the parents.
It's not the fault of the parents.
That parent there, I will take my hat off to him every day, because his little boy is allowed so many hours on screen, and he negotiates it. If he doesn't do his chores, correct?
Yes, of course.
He doesn't get the screen.
Well done.
But
he cheats. He cheats.
I know he cheats because he's a kid. And all kids will. But the fact is, he controls the screen time for his children. All parents should do it.
I agree. Can I tell you a true story?
It'll have to be very
witnessed
quick.
Yesterday, very quickly, there was a young girl, very attractive young lady, probably about 17, sitting in a cafe with a bloke who obviously was trying to become her boyfriend. He was being over the top, charming and witty and flamboyant. She was being coquettish. Ooh. She was being friendly and nice. And
I raised my eyebrows, dear listener.
yeah, but it's a real word.
All
It
right.
just might have been a bit inappropriate in that sentence.
Thank you.
But, and all of a sudden I was watching, I'm thinking, this is charming, this is so old-fashioned, so really nice. I remember the days when I used to do that. And all of a sudden, they stopped talking to each other and both sat there for 5 minutes on the phone.
Texting each other. It's ridiculous.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, texting each other. Please, if you're a parent, do what Stefan does. He negotiates screen time. You don't keep the screen if you don't do your chores.
Give you them? How much screen time does your son give you?
Oh, usually he has just an hour, but we are negotiating every half an hour.
Yeah, something like that. Facebook have removed 5.4 billion fake accounts this year. Well done to Facebook for doing that.
How many people have they killed off who are not fake?
This is very true. Hungary have reportedly pulled out of the Eurovision Song Contest amid speculation the competition is too gay. Where have they been for the last 20 years? 30 years.
Tell Graham Norton about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very proud of the Chinese government here. TikTok has apologised and reinstated a banned US teen.
Teenager.
Put on this video about China and criticising it, was chucked off, they complained, and TikTok have put them back on. Now that's a modern China. For goodness sake, you've got a compliment when they do something right. I haven't seen anything come out of Russia like that recently.
No,
They just don't do anything. Slovak so lucky builder. Who wrote that headline?
I did. It's good. That's a
Yeah,
good headline.
right.
Slovak so lucky.
Anyway.
So far, so lucky.
Yeah, Lenka, who's married to an English guy, Steve Thompson, she and the 3 children, as well as hubby, have picked up a 105 million Euro Millions jackpot. Hello to Seats of Brower. I didn't notice you there, mate. Sorry.
Oh.
Congrats to Lenka.
Yeah, congrats to Lenka.
Congrats to Lenka.
Yeah, congrats.
And her husband,
Well, that's
who
very true.
continued to paint the house before he
stopped working, he carried on finishing his
What a
client
good
out.
egg.
Apple has been condemned for listing Crimea as part of Russian territory in its new mapping and weather maps, and it's been told off viciously, and quite right too. It is not in Russia.
Does it still exist?
What, Crimea?
Crimea.
Yeah, just the Russians nicked it. It's on the side of the Ukraine, a couple of hours down the road.
Crimea is still around then.
Yeah.
It's
the
not
black-
part of Russia.
Well, no, the Russians nicked it.
That's what you just said.
It belongs to the Ukraine.
Nobody's argued.
Right, and Russia nicked it for the Black Sea bit.
The Black Sea.
Yeah, the Black Sea's there.
Did you go there on a Friday?
An 86-year-old man has been
Let's
joining
not be
pupils.
racist.
No. Has been joining pupils for lunch at a nearby school because it stops him feeling lonely. And I've got to say, that is the most wonderful use of a school dining area to make an 86-year-old guy feel happy, and that's really wonderful. Madonna has announced she's had to cancel tour dates on the doctor's orders due to overwhelming pains. Unfortunately, Madonna is no longer 19 like the rest of us, and she has to have ice baths after appearing on stage.
Does she indeed?
Yep.
How old is she? 61, isn't she?
Something like that, yeah, she must be.
Still very good looking.
Yeah.
Bit of a string.
And up for sale, Emu and Orville.
I can fly.
What do we reckon, Dave? Marks out of 10 for Orville?
4.
Okay, that works for me. It's going to cost you an absolute fortune. And oh dear, Victoria Beckham's fashion label lost £12.3 million last year. Why am I not surprised?
Why? Why did you say that? What's wrong with Victoria Beckham's fashion?
Because nobody's interested in fashion like they used to be.
What?
Yeah,
No,
and
because you dress in T-shirts and...
and the former glamour model Katie Price has officially been declared bankrupt.
And she went out celebrating and had a major party last night to celebrate the fact she's got no money. Good on you, Casey. I love her.
Yeah, basically, she didn't bother to pay the voluntary system, so that was the end of it. Time to say goodbye from New York.
Goodbye from the New Yorker Hotel in New York.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Was that Sooty or Orville?
That was Orville.
You sure?
Sooty doesn't speak.
No, Sooty doesn't speak. Silly boy.
I know, this is Harry H. Colbert. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
That's Harry, that's better. That was Postcard from Poprad for another week. Hopefully we'll see Dave safely back in the UK.
Yeah, come over here, Dave.
Yeah, you should come here, it'd be easier. Don't go home, just come here.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And thanks ever so much. Sorry to some of you I haven't got to the comments bits of. I'm really sorry. But we rabbited too much, far too much. And thanks to everybody on YouTube that's been joining us as well today. That's rather nice. Next up, it's Steve Bishop on Radio Tatras International, your station of the stars.
The station of the stars. RTI.